What's going on, everyone? Vito here from MiniWarGaming.com, and welcome to another episode of Beato the Vito. I've got Stefano in with me, and we're going to be playing 1,500 points, technically 1,520 on each side. We both wanted to take a little bit of something. I'm trying something new, and we are going to be playing, like I said, 1,520 of Thousand Suns versus Salamanders. If you would like to be in Stefano's spot, please go to MiniWarGaming.com/challenge for all of those deets. But until then, let's take a look at the board and those armies. Shall we? Yes. Taking a look now at 1,500 points of Thousand Suns. I'm going to be running a battalion as per the usual, but I'm going to spend a command point right away to take an extra relic. So let's take a look at my HQ choices. I'm going to be running a Demon Prince with Malefic Talons and Wings. He will be my Warlord for today. His Warlord trait will be the Otherworldly Presence, giving him a 3-up invulnerable save. His psychic powers are going to be the Infernal Gateway and Tzeentch's Firestorm. And for his relic, it's going to be the Helm of the Third Eye. So anytime that Stefano rolls for a strategy, spends a command point on a 5+, I will be getting a command point back. On the left, I have an Exalted Sorcerer. He will be running the Glamour of Tzeentch and Presence for his psychic powers. And for that command point that I'm going to be spending off the bat, giving me an extra relic, it's going to be the Dark Matter Crystal. So when I pop the Dark Matter Crystal, any infantry unit that is nearby 12 inches, I can teleport them anywhere on the board more than 9 inches away from an enemy unit. And I can do that on turn 1. Moving forward, I have another Exalted Sorcerer. What you see is what you get on them. And for his psychic powers, he's going to be running the Infernal Gaze and the Weaver of Fates. For my troop choices, I have once again the big squad of 20 Rubric Marines. There's going to be 2 Soul Reaper Cannons in that squad. I have 2 units of 10 Rubric Marines. Each squad has a Soul Reaper Cannon in it. In my elite choice, I have a 5-man Scarab Occult squad with a Hellfire Missile Rack. And I'm going to be trying something new for today. I have 3 Screamers of Tzeentch. These guys are pretty cool. They have a 4-up invulnerable save. I think they're -3 AP, and they do 2 damage each. I think the only downside is that they're hitting on 4s. But I think these guys are pretty cool. I think they're movement 16, if I believe. So they are pretty quick. And that's going to be it. That's going to be 1,500 or 1,520 points, because that's what we've agreed upon, of Thousand Suns. And taking a look at 1,500 points of Salamanders. Stefano, where would you like to start?
Okay, so we'll start with who's leading my battalion detachment. So I'll have 8 CP today. I'm taking a Primaris Captain with Power Fist and Plasma Pistol. He's just going to be running the Champion of Humanity Warlord trait, so they have +1 to hit and +1 wound against any of your characters. Then I have a Phobos Librarian who will be taking the Relic Tome of Malkador. And what that means is that he gets a psychic power from the Librarius Discipline, and the Librarius Discipline he's going to take is the Psychic Fortress, getting a single unit 4-up Feel No Pain against mortal wounds in the Psychic phase. Then he's taking Shrouding and Hallucination from the Phobos tree, and that's going to be everything for him. Then moving over to we'll start from left to right. I got a Flamestorm squad of Aggressors, 3-man, and then I got a Repulsor. Quick rundown of what it has on its list is a Last Talon, Twin Last Cannon, 2 Iron Hail Heavy Stubbers, a Fragstorm Crack Grenade Launcher, and a Crackstorm Grenade Launcher, and 3 Storm Bolters. Then I got a 7-man squad of Infiltrators for the troops. They will have a Helix Adept, giving them a slightly worse version of an Apothecary. And then 2 5-man squads of Intercessors. Both have an Auxiliary Grenade Launcher in the squad. Everything else is just stock. And continuing on over to the right, I have a 3-man squad of Suppressors. Nothing fancy about them. And then 2 Eliminator squads. Then 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts. Now they both have macro plasma cannons. They both have the missile pod up top. One has 2 Storm Bolters and a Heavy Flamer, and the other one has 2 Fragstorm grenade launchers and the Punisher, the Assault Cannon variant. I forget its name right now.
And that's going to be 15-20 points of Salamanders. This is the board that we're going to be playing on today. The mat itself is from GameMat.eu, and all of these buildings here, these were done by Adam from Greenleaf Terrain. And for our narrative for today, the local Imperial Guard, they sent off a message through this little tower, this beep, 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 beep. I guess that's the Morse code that they use in 40K. They sent off a beacon that they were being pushed back through the Thousand Suns, so the only army that was able to hear the call for help was the Salamanders, but the call was answered a little bit too late. The Thousand Suns completely decimated the Imperial Guard, so now the Salamanders have to fight off the Thousand Suns, and that is going to be the narrative for today's Bat Rep. Alright everyone, we are all set up for the internal war mission, Narrow the Search. The way this works is there is literally only one objective right in the middle of the board, and it is going to be this VIP, which will be the Null Maiden, which is going to be the Sister of Silence, funny enough. The Salamanders, they want to rescue her, and the Thousand Suns want to kill her. So the way it works is the range within scoring for turn 1 will be 18 inches, but every turn it shrinks by 3 inches, and you score 1 victory point per turn for the amount of models that you have within range. So the first turn, 18 inches, more models that you have, you score 1 victory point. Turn 2, it then shrinks by 3 inches. So 15 inches more models, you score another victory point, so on and so forth, until the only amount of distance that you have is only 3 inches. The only caveat to this mission is that there is a 12-inch bubble in all directions of no invul saves that can be taken. So I think there's no invul saves on the Salamander's side, but oh boy do I have invul saves across the entire board. So that's why I thought it would be great to use a Sisters of Silence model for today's Bat Rep. The Thousand Suns, the way they've gone ahead and set up is I have my Demon Prince over here on my right flank with a squad of 10 Rubric Marines and an Exalted Sorcerer. Another squad of 10 Rubric Marines over here on top of this building, overlooking the objective itself. And then we have another big squad of 20 followed up by an Exalted Sorcerer, and then the new unit there of Screamers on my left flank. As for the Salamanders...
Okay, so we got 1 squad of 5-man intercessors just protecting the Redemptor Dreadnought. And we got a repulsor sitting in the back, hoping to stay away from too much firepower. And we got another 5-man intercessor squads. Then we have a Eliminator squad trying to take the high ground. Another Eliminator squad hiding on this balcony with a Redemptor Dreadnought in the front. And then going in the back here we have a Suppressor squad just hoping to cast down some artillery fire. Then we have a Infiltrator squad and my Phobos Librarian hoping just to secure this right flank.
At the current moment, the Thousand Suns will be going first unless Stefano can go ahead and seize the initiative. Mm-hmm. No, rolling a 2. So we're going to go right away into Thousand Suns, turn number 1. Start of my Moomin Phase, I'm going to go ahead and move my Rubric Marines, the 10 squad, just 5 inches forward, just moving them up the board, getting them within some better range. I'm going to go ahead and advance my Exalted Sorcerer. He's going to go an extra 3, making him go 9 inches to right there. Next, I'm going to go ahead and advance my Demon Prince for an extra 5. So he can go 17 inches if he chooses. And I'm just going to put my Demon Prince all the way up to here. It's a very risky move, but you know what? I'm going for it. I'm having fun. We're going to quickly jump onto my left flank. The Screamers, they're going to go 16 to right over here. Next, I'm going to move my squad of Rubric Marines, the big squad of 20. They're just going to go 5 inches up the board. Just like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and advance my Exalted Sorcerer. He can go an extra 2, having him go right to here. I think I'm then going to pop the Dark Matter Crystal. It might be a bit early right now. However, this side on my right flank is very heavy. So I think I'm going to go ahead and drop them probably right around there. I'm still going to be within the center here of where the objective is, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Teleporting right over here beside the Salamanders. I decided to go ahead and do it just because, like I said, Salamanders went a bit for a refuse flank on this side. There's a ton of firepower right over here, so I'm essentially kind of matching that refuse flank with the big squad of Rubric Marines. Jumping into Psychic Phase now, we're going to start with this Exalted Sorcerer. We're going to go for Prescience on my big squad of Rubric Marines. We are looking for a 7, and we do get it off with a 9. Would you like to stop that one?
I will attempt, yes.
Okay. Looking for a 10. Oh, and we get double beer. Next off, we're going to go with the Glamour of Tzeentch from the Exalted Sorcerer, and we're going to target the big blob of Rubric Marines. If we do get this off, it's going to be -1 to hit that unit. And we do get it off with a 7. The Librarian only has 1 deny, so that does go off, and now the Rubric Marines are -1 to hit. Next, we're going to go with Smite from the big squad of Rubric Marines. We do get it off with a 9, so it is going to be a dealer's choice because everything is 9 inches away. I suppose I'm going to be putting it into the squad of Intercessors. Yeah. Next, we're going to cast Smite from my my smaller unit of 10. It's actually going to go into this unit because they're actually closer by an inch. Looking for a 5, and we do get it off with a 7. So they're just going to take 1 mortal wound. The next Rubric Marine squad, they're going to be casting Smite. They have to go into the unit of Infiltrators. And we do get it off with a 9, so they'll just take 1 mortal wound. My next Exalted Sorcerer, he's going to be casting Smite, and it has to go into the Infiltrators. We do get it off with 5 just on the dot, looking for D3 mortal wounds, for a total of 3 mortal wounds into the Infiltrators. For his next spell, he's going to be casting the Infernal Gaze, and I think we're going to target, I think we're going to target this unit here of Intercessors. Goes off on a 5, and we do get it off with an 8. And because the spell went off, I roll 3 dice, and for every 4 up, you take a mortal wound. So you're going to be taking 2 mortal wounds. Next, we're going to go with the Demon Prince. Infernal Gateway is out. Being within 12 inches, we were doing this measuring back and forth, and we were getting within line of sight. So I will go with Smite. We are looking for a 5, and we do get it off with a 9. So for D3 mortal wounds, taking exactly 2 mortal wounds. Closest target will be the Intercessors, so 1 Intercessor, he will die, and then 1 Intercessor will take a wound. Next, I'm going to go for Tzeentch's Firestorm. I will be targeting the big, what's it called again?
Redemptor Dreadnought.
The Redemptor. I was going to call it Ed 209 from RoboCop.
I mean, it can be.
Right? I'm going to be targeting him for Tzeentch's Firestorm. Goes off on a 7, which I do fail. That's going to be it for my Psychic Phase. We're going to go right into the Shooting Phase now. We're going to start with the guys up here in the building. They're going to be firing everything they have into the Infiltrators. We're going to be starting with the Soul Reaper Cannon, hitting on 3s. All will hit, and then wounding on 3s. Getting 3. Looking for a 5-up save because of cover. Ooh, and you make 1, but 2 wounds do go through. And the rest of the shots with Bolter Drill within range, hitting on 3s, re-rolling the 1s because of the Exalted Sorcerers nearby. Wounding on 4s. Looking for a 4-up save. And that is going to be 2 dead boys down. Next, we're going to start with my squad of 10 Rubric Marines that are on the ground. I'm going to be putting the Soul Reaper cannon into those guys, and then everyone else will be firing into the Intercessors right over here. Starting with the Soul Reaper cannon, hitting on 3s, getting all but 1, and then wounding on 3s, getting only 1, AP 3. Looking for a 5-up save, because you all are within cover. Oh, nice, make it. We did end up moving, so no Bolter Drill, hitting on 3s. Oh, re-rolling of the 1s. And wounding on 4s. Oh, wow, getting only 1 wound. Looking for a 5-up save. No, taking 1 wound. Next, I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 command point for Veterans of the Long War on the big unit of Rubric Marines. I'm going to be splitting some fire here. How am I going to split my fire? Alright, I've made my decision, so this half will be firing into this squad along with the Soul Reapers, and this half into these 3. Starting with the Soul Reaper cannons, hitting on 3s, and wounding on 2s. 6-up save. No, just making 1.
So, losing 3.
And then we have 14 shots going into the last remaining Intercessor, hitting on 3s. And wounding on 3s because of Veterans of the Long War. Looking for a 5-up save.
Yeah, he did.
Does go down. And then we have 15 shots going into 3 Intercessors on 3s. And wounding on 3s. Looking for 5s.
Okay, so that's all of them dead.
Pop, 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 pop. That's going to be all for my shooting phase. We're going to go right into the charge phase now. What are these guys called? The Screamers. They're going to be charging into the Librarian.
Yeah.
Overwatch?
Yeah. So we're going to throw a grenade. A frag grenade specifically. So for 2 shots. Hitting on 6s.
No, nope. Getting nothing.
But I get 1 reroll for chapter tactics. Nope.
Nope, nothing. Charge distance, survey says, getting a total of a 7. And that will that'll have us enough to go 3 up and then right up to here. And we're going to tangle us in with the infiltrators as well. And then, get them, boys. Jumping into the combat phase now. They're going to go ahead and pile in. We know where they are. So we're going to see what these Screamers can do in combat. We're going to be putting all of our attacks into the Librarian. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 3s. Getting 2 at AP minus 3.
The 6-up save.
Oh, look at him go!
Okay, so the Librarian's going to go with his 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. Okay, with 1 reroll for being a Salamander.
Nice, getting 3.
Okay.
I'm T4.
Yep, so it'd be wounding on 4s.
Okay, 2.
1 reroll. Yeah, just 2.
Okay. 4 up invulnerable, because we are within outside of the 12, measuring it. Okay, so 1 does go through.
Yeah, so he'll roll D3 damage.
Getting a total of 2. So that will kill one of these guys. So I did not see that coming at all. On paper, they didn't sound that bad with 4 attacks, but wow, okay. You actually get to make attacks back, because we piled into the, what are these secret boys called? Secret police.
Yeah.
I call them secret police.
The secret police of Nocturne. They show up to, kick your butt.
All right, they get to make their attacks.
So they have 5 because the sergeant's there.
Alrighty.
So hitting on 3s. They all hit.
Okay.
And then wounding on 4s. With 1 reroll for being a Salamander. Okay, making 4.
Oh, jeez. 4 up and vulnerable. I take 1 wound. What is happening?
I'm going to spend 3 command points and have my librarian go again for another chapter. So his 4 attacks hitting on 3s. So 2 hits. You can 1 reroll for chapter tactics. Miss. Okay. And then 4s to wound. And then reroll. Getting 2 wounds.
Alright, 4 up and vulnerable. No D3 wounds.
We'll kill 1 then.
Yeah, so this guy just dies. Because you did spend the command point, I get to reroll on a 5. I get the Helm of the Third Eye. I get a command point. No, I rolled a 4. Jumping to the morale phase now on a 6 up. The Screamer's going away. Nope, he's sticking around. Speaking of sticking, do you guys remember that TV show on White TV, Sticking Around? Good, wholesome Canadian TV. That was a good movie, Sticking Around.
Good. So they're going to take their morale check. Their leadership 8 with a +4, so 4 up is bad. Getting a 4, so they shall know no fear.
Oh,
making it worse.
It's worse. The secret police are going home.
We're out of here.
And that's going to be the end of Thousand Suns turn number 1. I think it was a pretty decent opening start, getting rid of a bunch of bodies, kind of denying the objective. But I won't be getting any invulnerable saves for essentially this entire bubble right over here. So the Salamanders can go ahead and do a bunch of damage if they so choose. And speaking of Salamanders, let's go right into Salamanders turn number 1. Jumping into the Moomin Phase now.
So the Repulsor is going to move up 10, try to get a better line of sight shot here, so he can easily land on top of the building here. So my Redemptor Dreadnought is going to move up his 8 inches to try to stay within 6 of the Repulsor, but also get closer to those Rubric Marines. Alright, so my Redemptor Dreadnought has enough move to get right to here and get close to those Rubric Marines. Okay, so my snipers are going to try to get into a better position, and they're going to move off the cover here. Just trying to get forward to cap that objective. Okay, so I'm just going to declare Wisdom of the Ancients on this Redemptor Dreadnought here for 1 command point, and that just gives him the reroll 1's bubble for this shooting phase to everybody within 6.
Alright, on a 5+, I got a command point. Helm of the Third Eye. Nope, getting a 2.
Okay, so we're going to fire the suppressors at the Rubric Marines. Yep, sorry.
No problem.
Went out of my head first. So they'll be hitting on 4s because of your -1 to hit. Oh. So 1 reroll from Chapter Tactics.
Nice.
And 1. So wounding on 3s because of strength 7. And then it'll be 1 reroll for Chapter Tactics.
Nice. Looking for a 5 up. Making only 1. So 1 guy goes down. Boop. I was looking as I only saved 1 guy, so I only took 1 guy. So technically 3 guys go down. So boop and boop.
We're going to fire this Redemptor Dreadnought next into the Rubric Marines. He's going to fire everything he has. We'll start off with the Macro Plasma Executioner Cannon. Okay, so not overcharging. D6 number of shots.
6, lovely.
Yeah, 5 he's moved. So hitting on 5.
Oh, yeah. Pretty good actually. 3.
Yeah, 1 reroll for on the 2.
Nice.
Be wounding on 2, strength 8.
Ooh.
Okay, 1 reroll for the Chapter Tactic.
Oh, nice. AP?
AP -4.
AP -4. So then with all is dust, I will be having a 6 up save. No, just 4 guys do go down. Ouch, ouch. Plus 1 more ouch. And just as a reminder, I'm not taking my invulnerable save because of the mission special rule is this objective, which is essentially the Sister of Silence. She's creating that null zone, which means I cannot take my invulnerable saves within 12 inches, and these guys are surely within 12 inches.
So next is my assault launchers. It'll be 2d6 shots for 7 shots. These will be hitting on 4s. Rerolling 1s because of Wisdom of the Ancients. Yeah. So, and be wounding on 4s for 3 wounds.
All is dust, 2 up save. Of course, there's always 1 guy who doesn't save it. Boop.
And so next up is the Onslaught Gatling Cannon hitting on 5s.
Nice.
Rerolling 1s for Wisdom of the Ancients. Yeah. So it's wounding on 3s. Yeah, so 1 wound.
AP?
-1.
-1. 1 damage?
Yep.
Whoa! No, one guy does go down.
So D3 shots from the missile pod up top.
Sir, 3 shots?
These will be hitting on 6s because -1 against units that don't fly. No hits.
Nothing. Next, the other Dreadnought, his big brother, is going to be firing into the Rubric Marines as well. Same thing.
So D6 shots from the plasma cannon for 3. Be hitting on 5s. With 1 reroll from Wisdom of the Ancients and the other one from the Chapter Tactics. Hitting nothing. So next up is a Heavy Flamer, D6 automatic hits.
Ooh, that was teetering on that sticks. You see that?
Oh, that would have been nice. Okay, so wounding on 3s for strength 5. So 3 wounds.
AP?
-1.
-1. Ooh, okay. Made 2 of them, so 1 guy does go down.
So 8 Stormbolter shots from the 2 Stormbolters in Rapid Fire, hitting on 4s. Rerolling 1s from Wisdom of the Ancients. Yeah, so with wounding on 4s, I still have a Chapter Tactic reroll, which I will need. Okay, 2 wounds.
2 up save. Nice, made them both.
Yeah, so we're going to fire a Repulsor next with his guns on top of guns. It's literally going to get all the las weaponry into the Demon Prince along with the Crack Storm grenade launchers. The Frag Storm grenade launchers, the Iron Hail machine guns, and the Storm Bolters are all going to Rubric Marines. So starting with the las weapons. So 1 hit.
I am toughness 6.
Okay, so wounding on a 3.
Got
1
it.
wound.
3 up, invulnerable save. Ooh, I make it with a 3.
Cool. So now the Crack Grenades, hitting on 3s.
Getting 2.
And then strength 6 against your toughness
6.
So 4s.
Getting 1. 3 up invul. No, he fails.
Be D3 damage.
Ooh, for a total of 3 damage.
So firing the frag grenade launchers and the storm bolters, it'll be 2d6 shots plus the 6 from the storm bolters. Getting 4, so 10. Okay, so hitting on 4s. So wounding on 4s.
Getting 2. All is dust for a 2 up save. Making them both.
Okay, so I'm going to fire at your sorcerer next. 2 can fire the rounds that are D3 damage. The other one can't see them, so they'll fire the ignore line of sight round instead. So going with the D3 rounds first. It'd be 1 hit, but using Chapter Tactics to re-roll. And the 2 hits. So wounding on 4s. Using Chapter Tactics to re-roll. Getting a mortal wound in addition to it.
Looking for a 5 up armor save. So I make 1, so he's going to take 2 wounds.
D3 wounds.
Ooh, D3 wounds. Look at you go.
For 1.
For 1, okay.
Now hitting on a 2 because it's +2 to hit and ignore line of sight. So it hits, and then it's going to wound on a 4. Does not wound. Yeah, so they're going to fire all 3 of their shots, the ignore line of sight shots, into the sorcerer. Same guy. Try to see if I can't get lucky. So it'll be hitting on 2s. They all hit, and then they'll be wounding on 4s. 1 reroll. Nope.
4 up save. No, so just 1 damage.
Yep.
Down to 2 wounds remaining.
So the librarian's just going to fire his bolt pistol, hitting on a 3, and hits, and it'll wound on a 4. Does wound.
4 up invul. We make it.
So, starting with this Redemptor Dreadnought, we're going to declare an assault against the Rubric Marines.
I cannot overwatch because these guys right over here did some damage to me, and they have a special rule that if they do damage, I cannot overwatch. So you get the free charge over here. They do make it with a 9. Does this guy want to charge in as well?
Yeah, he's going to do the same exact thing.
Ooh, getting with a 7, so both these boys getting into the rubrics. So we're going to We're going to jump right into the combat phase now. I suppose we'll go left to right.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. We are going to be hitting on 4s because the spell is still on.
Yep. So hitting on 4s.
Okay.
I'll take it. And then it's strength 14, so wounding on 2s. 1 reroll from chapter tactics.
Oh boy. AP3, I have a 6 up save. Hey, I make one of them, so 3 guys just go down. We'll lose this guy, and then we'll lose these 2. And then his big brother.
Hitting on 4s. Okay, so get 1 reroll.
Nope, getting 2.
And wounding on 2s.
Nice. 6 up. No, another 2 go down. Boop. And boop.
So 4 attacks from the librarian. Hitting on 3s. 1 reroll.
Nice.
And then it'll be wounding on 4s. With 1 reroll.
Oh, nothing.
That's not.
And then the Screamer Stingray getting to fight back. Hitting on 4s. Oh, okay. Cool. Wounding on 3s. Getting only 1.
6 up save.
No. Oh, no. Damage, I think, is just 2 damage.
So it'd be down to 3.
Rubric Marines get their attacks back. 4 guys hitting on 3s. All will hit, and then wounding on... what's your toughness?
7.
7 on 5s. Hey, we get 1. You get your full save.
So 3 up armor.
Hey, made it. And then the Aspiring Sorcerer on 3s. Hey, look at him go. Look at this guy. And that's going to be the end of the turn for the Salamanders. I took a pretty decent hit right over here. Out of that big blob of 20, there's only 5 left, so I think that's a pretty decent hit. Aspiring Sorcerer only down to 2 wounds. And we are still having a nice fun little fight with the Screamer and the Librarian. And the Demon Prince actually down to 5 wounds as I took 3 wounds from a grenade right to the face. I'm going to go ahead and I have a morale check to do over here. But you know what? I think I'm going to keep these guys alive. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 command points right off the bat to keep these, to keep these boys in the fight. So with that said, it's going to be the end of the battle round. We do have to calculate points. Currently right now there is an 18-inch bubble with calculating points. I think currently with the amount of models that I have within the center of that 18-inch bubble, I will have the points, so I will be scoring 1 point right now, which will make the current score right now 1-0 in favor of the Thousand Suns. So let's go into Thousand Suns, turn number 2. Actually, the current score right now is 2-0, as I did get first strike. So that bubble of 18 inches then shrinks to 15 as it drops by 3. So now there's a 15-inch bubble of scoring. Going into my movement phase now, I think with my Exalted Sorcerer, I think we're just going to have him go right to here for 6 inches. Next up, I'm going to have my big squad of Rubric Marines, the 10-man squad that are on the ground. They're just going to move up a bit as well, just their 5 inches. Getting ever so closer. Exalted Sorcerer is going to go to here. My Rubric Marines on top of the building, they're not doing any service to anyone. So I'm going to go ahead and advance them. An extra 5. So they're going to go down 6 inches, and then they're going to go 4 this way. Ending right over here. And the Demon Prince, he's going to fly and drop down right to here. Actually, with his 12 inches, he's going to back up just a bit, staying outside of 3 inches. And at the end of my movement phase, I'm going to have my Scarab Occult Terminators Deep Strike right next to the objective. I'm putting them here because I want to start taking out some of these sniper squads. And it's also, hunkering them down and near the objective as well, because that is the primary target of where I want to be for the rest of the game. And then they can slowly move up if they so desire. But yeah, that's where my Scarab Occult Terminators are going to be dropping. Jumping into the psychic phase now, we're going to start with my used to be a 20-man block of rubrics, now down to 5. We will cast Smite. And we do get it off on a 8. It will be 1 mortal wound into the, I guess, this Dreadnought.
Yeah, I will spend a command point for Armor of Contempt, so I'll get a 5-up Feel No Pain against mortal wounds in the Psychic Phase.
On a 5+, I get a command point. Nope, it will be a 1. On a 5+, you get to ignore it. And you do. Look at you go.
There.
Next, we're going to start with this Rubric Marine squad. They will cast Smite. It does go off. The actual Dreadnought that is closer is this guy right over here. So he's going to be the one who takes the Mortal Wound.
So he'll just be down to 12.
Next, we'll go with the, not Aspiring Sorcerer, but the Exalted Sorcerer. He will cast Smite. Closest target will probably be the Dreadnought with the Feel No Pain. Looking for a 5, and we fail with a 4. I'm going to go ahead and spend a command point to re-roll that. It always happens. It always happens. Fail. He'll then try to go for the Infernal Gaze, and we're going to target the Dreadnought that does not have the Feel No Pain. Looking for a 5, and we successfully get that. Oh boy, and that is going to be a miscast. Not a miscast, sorry.
Peril.
Peril of the Warp. Not great for me. And for his Perils of the Warp... no! So he is dead, so he explodes. And then everything within a round is going to be suffering D3 mortal wounds.
Ouch.
So that's amazing. The power doesn't go off. So my unit of Rubric Marines, they're going to suffer D3 mortal wounds.
Thank goodness.
3 mortal wounds.
What is happening, man?
Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. They're dead. These guys over here, D3 mortal wounds. For 1 mortal wound, dead. And then my other Exalted Sorcerer suffering D3 mortal wounds. For 2 mortal wounds. Oh boy. So he's down to 3 mortal wounds. Oh, that hurt so much. Ouch. And that's what happens when you save a reroll to get more damage. You get greedy. Ouch. Look what you made me do! Look what you made me do! Next, my other Exalted Sorcerer. He's going to try to cast Smite. Closest target is probably going to be one of these Dreadnoughts. Looking for a 5. And we do actually get it with a 6. So he's going to be onto this Dreadnought over here for D3 mortal wounds. For a total of just 1 mortal wound.
So 5-up Feel No Pain?
No, he's going to take 1. And for his last spell, he's going to try to cast Glamour of Tzeentch on the Demon Prince. Which we do get off with a 7. So the Demon Prince is going to be -1 to hit.
I will attempt to deny that.
Sure, go for it. I got some dice.
Yep.
Oh, and we do get it off with an 8. So you do stop my power. Next, we're going to go for this squad here of Rubric Marines. They will be casting Smite. Looking for a 5. Which we do get with a 10. So I think we're just going to do 1 mortal wound right over there. Okay. You do get your 5 up. No, just a 2. So he's going to be down to 1 more. The Scarab Occult Terminators, they're going to be casting Smite. Closest target will be the Librarian. Oh, and we do fail with a 3. This is going to be a little risky, but we're going for it. May hurt my own guys, but hey, fortune favors the bold or the stupid. Demon Prince now is going to cast the Infernal Gateway. Closest model will be this guy right over here. Looking for an 8. And we fail with a 7. Look at me go. For his last power, he's going to cast Smite. And we do get it off, all right, with a 9. D3 mortal wounds for a total of 3 mortal wounds.
Getting a 5-up Feel No Pain.
Ooh.
Saving 1.
So 2 do go through. Jumping into the shooting phase now, we're going to be starting off with these Rubric Marines, and they're going to be firing into the snipers into the building. I think I am going to spend a command point for Veterans of the Long War with them as well. Starting with the Soul Reaper Cannon, hitting on 3s. All will hit, and wounding on 2s. All will wound.
So 4-up save.
Nice.
How about 1?
And the rest of the squad with their bolters, hitting on 3s. Re-rolling the 1 because of the, who was his name? The Exalted Sorcerer nearby. And wounding on 3s. Getting all but 1. You have a 3-up save. one more wound, so one guy does go down. Next, we're going to have the Scarab Occult Terminators fire. Everyone's going to be firing into these 3 snipers out in the open, except for the Hellfire missile racks, which will go into the 2 snipers up in the building. For the snipers in the building, hitting on 3s, getting 2 hits, wounding on 2s, getting only 1.
So 3 up save?
No.
Failing.
For D3 damage, for a total of just 1. And the Terminators and their bolters hitting on 3s. Rerolling the 1s. Oh, just 1 in there. Whoa. Looking for 4s to wound.
That's 5 up saves.
And that's enough to take out the squad. The Aspiring Sorcerer, he will fire his bolt pistol into the Dreadnought on a 3. Miss. We're going to go ahead and charge the Demon Prince into the Dreadnought. Do I want to charge both Dreadnoughts? So I'm just going to, actually, you know what? I'm going to charge both Dreadnoughts. So charge distance, survey says 8. That's more than enough to get into combat with both. So next we're going to be striking with the Demon Prince into the combat phase. I'm just going to go ahead and put all my attacks into this Dreadnought. We have 7 attacks hitting on 2s, re-rolling the 1s. And we have 1 more for Death to the False Emperor. Huzzah! Looking for 4s to wound.
5 up save.
Oh, very nice. It's going to be 2 damage. So Stefano is going to go ahead and spend 2 command points so that the Librarian swings next into the Screamer. On a 5+ with the Helm of the Third Eye, I get a command point. I do not.
Then 4 attacks hitting on 3s. 1 reroll for Chapter Tactics.
Nice, converts.
And then wounding on 4s. With 1 reroll for Chapter Tactics.
Getting 2. 2 4-up saves. No damage.
It's D3.
D3 apiece, so it doesn't matter what you do. Boop, you kill them. I'm then going to have my rubrics go into the Dreadnought now. We have 4 attacks on 3s, re-rolling the 1s because of the Demon Prince. And then wounding on 5s, getting only 1. You get your full up save.
So 3 up armor.
Ooh, made it. And the Aspiring Sorcerer on 3s, re-rolling the 1. Made them both, and on 5s, getting nothing. We're going to be starting now with the bracketed Dreadnought. He's going to be turning around and going into my Demon Prince.
Yep, so hitting on 4s. Okay, with 1 reroll from Chapter Tactics. Doesn't matter.
Getting 3.
Then wounding on 3s, or no, your toughness 6.
6.
Okay, so I'll actually be wounding on 2s because I'm strength 14. So 3 wounds.
3 up and vulnerable. You know what? I'm going to spend a command point and re-roll this. Made it. And then next we're going to have this Dreadnought who's going to be piling in to the closest unit, which will be the Rubric Marines.
He will not pile in.
Oh, he's not going to
he's just going to attack.
Okay.
He's within an inch already. So hitting on 3s. So
Nice.
And then wounding on 2s. Rerolling 1 from Chapter Tactics.
Nice. AP?
3.
AP 3. Looking for a 6-up save. Whoa! Nope, just 4 dice. So the only guy who is remaining will be the Aspiring Sorcerer. Jumping to the morale phase now. On a 5-up, he will run away. Nope, he is good to stay, the Aspiring Sorcerer. And that's going to be the end of Thousand Suns turn number 2. Didn't go quite according to... I mean, it was not that bad of a turn. It was a little bit unfortunate of having my Sorcerer explode and killing a bunch of my guys over here. Demon Prince is currently locked in combat, which I'm kind of happy with. I mean, the 2 Dreadnoughts, they can, fall back if they so choose, which can then have this guy blast into his rear. But, I mean, that is an option over there. And then, yeah, we have these guys kind of dropping down, which I'm currently happy with. So let's go right away now into Salamanders turn number 2, and let's see what kind of punishment the Salamanders can do. Jumping into the movement phase now.
So I'm going to have my librarian move to the edge of this building here, just to try to get within psychic power range. So my captain's going to get out, and he has a 3-inch disembark, and then a 4-inch move down, and then 2 over. Yeah, so the repulsor is going to hop, skip, and jump over to the other building with its 10-inch move and has fly, landing right there. So my suppressors are going to move down with fly, so they got a 12-inch range, putting them to about there.
Jumping into the psychic phase now.
So I'm going to cast Smite against the Terminators here. So looking for a 5, hitting a 9.
Getting a 9. So I'm looking for a 10 to stop it. I want to try to stop it with my Exalted Sorcerer. And we do get it with a 10 on the dot.
Yeah, so now he's going to attempt to cast Hallucination. So it needs a 6 to go off. And it doesn't go off. Okay, so firing my suppressors into the Terminators. So it's going to be 6 shots hitting on 4s. Alright, 1 reroll from Chapter Tactics. You need 4 hits. So now we're wounding on 3s. With, again, 1 reroll.
Looking for a 4-up save. No, so just 2 damage?
Yep.
So 1 Terminator does go down. Let's use this guy.
So 2 shots from my Eliminators into your Terminators. So this is going to be hitting on 3s. 1 miss, but re-roll because of Chapter Tactics. Nope, still fail. And it's Strength 4 against Toughness 4, correct? So wounding on a 4. 1 wound.
4-up save. No, I rolled a 1.
D3 damage.
For just the 1. You have 1 command point left.
Yeah, not with it. I'm going to fire my Redemptor Dreadnought, everything he has, into those Rubric Marines in the back. Starting off with the Plasma Cannon, it's D6 shots for 6. Okay, so hitting on 3s, and it'll be 1 reroll from Chapter Tactics.
Nice.
Okay. The Strength 8 against T4, wounding on 2s. 1 reroll. There we go.
So with All Is Dust, and prior to the game, Stefano and I said that this will be covered with pipes and all that stuff. So we are looking for a 5-up save, which does not count. 3 guys will go down. To be very honest, I forgot to owe a morale phase over here for when my Psyker exploded. So on a 6-up, I lose a guy. No, nothing. Okay, so we can carry the game on as normal.
Yep. So Fragstorm Grenade Launchers, 2d6 shots for 6. 3. Hitting on 3s. No rerolls. And then wounding on 4s. Okay, so 2 wounds.
2-up save. Made them all.
So next up is the Onslaught Gatling Cannon, 6 shots hitting on 3s. And wounding on 3s.
Nice. So 2-up save for All Is Dust and cover. Nope, 1 guy goes down. Oop.
D3 rockets from the pod, hitting on D3 shots. So 2 shots, and they'll be hitting on 4s because you don't have fly.
Nothing.
So nothing. So the repulsor is going to fire everything he has into that back squad of the Rubric Marines. So the only thing that won't be in range is the Frag Grenade Launcher and the Crack Grenade Launcher. So hitting on 3s.
Getting 2.
And then wounding on 2s.
Getting 2. 5-up save. Hooah! Hey, make 1. 1 more guy dies.
Okay, so I'm rolling the Iron Hails and the Storm Bolters at the same time since the save is the same. Be 12 shots in total. Hitting on 3s. So wounding on 4s.
2 up. Make them.
Okay, so my Librarian's going to throw a Crack Grenade and it hits on a 3.
Getting a 4.
And then it'll wound on a 3.
Getting a 4. Make it.
Nice. So we're going to start with the Captain into the Demon Prince for charging. So looking for a 6. Getting a 10.
Nice.
So Librarian's going to charge next. Should be about 5 inches.
Oh, double 1s.
Not meant to be.
And I can't overwatch because I took some damage from these guys over here.
So I'm going to use my last command point to try to see if I can't get a 4 to make it a 5. And -6.
So he does go in.
He'll go right there.
And on a 5-up, do I get a command point? No, it's a 1. I haven't been rolling for that in a while. And for the next charge, the Redemptor is going to be charging into the Rubric Marines. I'm going to go ahead and Overwatch, but you do get your charge. For a total of 7. Starting with the Soul Reaper Cannon on 6s, nothing. And everyone else within rapid fire range on the pistol. I'm rerolling the 1, getting 3 in total. And looking for 5s to wound. Nothing.
7 was enough to make it. We'll get right in.
We're going to be starting with the Captain first, going into the Demon Prince.
Okay, so he has 5 attacks hitting on 2s because his Warlord trait is Champion of Humanity. And since your character, he gets +1 to hit and +1 to wound. So looking for 2s.
All hit.
And he is Strength 8 against your Toughness 6. So wounding on 2s with the +1.
All but also getting 3.
So 1 reroll from Chapter Tactics.
Nice for 4. 3 up invulnerable save. Oh, that is not great. It'd be a flat 3 damage, right?
It's D3 damage.
D3 damage. I'm going to spend my last command point, try to keep him alive. Okay, so he just takes 1 wound. So he D3?
Yeah, D3 damage.
For a total of 1. So the Demon Prince does go down to 4 wounds, but I am now all out of command points. The Librarian now is going to go into the Scarab Occult Terminators.
So 4 attacks hitting on 3s. Okay, so it's 2 hits and 1 reroll from Chapter Tactics. Getting a 3rd hit. 4s, right? So wounding on 4s. 1 reroll.
For 3. Looking for a 5-up save. Oh!
So 4 attacks hitting on 3s from the Redemptor Dreadnought into the Rubric Marines. So 4 hits. And then they'll be wounding on 2s.
Nice.
1 reroll from Chapter Tactics. Nope.
Booyah. AP?
-3.
-3. 6 up. Nope. Nothing. So 3 guys just... Blah, 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 blah.
So Redemptor, who forgot was not bracketed yet, will be attacking into the Demon Prince, hitting on 3s. Oh wow, that is way too many dice. Sorry. So 1 reroll from Chapter Tactics. Maybe 4 hits. And then wounding on 2s. So 4 wounds.
Whew, okay. 3 up invulnerable. Can I do it? Whoa! Oh, that is not looking good. 2 have gone through.
So that's 2d6 damage.
Roll. 7. Okay. Demon Prince does go down. And that will be Warlord kill for you, good sir. Alright, now it's time for me to swing. We're going to go ahead and pile in with my Terminators into the Librarian. 2 attacks each, hitting on 3s. Rerolling of the 1s. Looking for 4s to wound. Getting 3 at AP 3.
6-up save.
Oh,
1.
so 2 wounds do go through. It's down to 1.
No.
And then with the Force Stave on 3s, rerolling the 1. Okay. And then we're looking for 3s to wound with a Force Stave. Getting 2.
I get a 4-up save. Oh,
No,
there it
for
is.
D3 damage.
You
for
killed him
3
after you're dead.
And the Librarian does go down. Next, the Rubrics attacking the Dreadnought on 3s. Getting only 2. And then wounding on 5s. Nothing. And the Force Stave on 3s. Getting 2. And wounding on 5s. Getting 1.
4-up save.
Nice. And the other Aspiring Sorcerer into the Dreadnought. 3s. And 5s. Getting 1.
Good.
Same thing. In terms of morale, these guys over here on a 4-up. Ooh, they are A-okay. On a 6, these guys, they're okay as well. And that's going to be the end of Salamander's turn 2. That was a pretty brutal retaliation. I'm losing a ton of my core troops. My Warlord is now dead, giving a extra victory point. I will be scoring another victory point for holding the objective. Not having my invulnerable saves, that really does hurt, but I think it's a really fun narrative aspect. It's been a very bloody game back and forth. I really don't think I have anything left to deal with these dreadnoughts. I mean, I do have my smites and whatnot. I think it was maybe a bit of a mistake to throw in my demon prince, but at the same time, I'm failing my 3-up invulnerable saves. You throw enough dice at something and it will go down. And I don't really have anything to deal with this repulsor and the guys inside. But we will see as we go into Thousand Suns, turn number 3. Jumping right into my movement phase. I think I'm going to go ahead and advance my sorcerer for an extra 1 inch. So I think he's just going to go right to here. And I really think that's it. I don't really think I'm going to move anywhere else. I mean, maybe this guy will just go kind of like this. Actually, you know what? I lied. These Terminators, we're going to go 4 inches like this. We still have 24-inch range with our guns. But we're essentially just doing like this. The Librarian, he's dead. We have range with our guns on those guys. And I think these guys are just going to act as a screen for the objective, and these guys are just going to hold these guys down. I don't really have much to work with, but the aim of the game is holding down that objective. So, yeah, no point in really moving. So, here we are. So, yeah, actually, this guy's going to go right here. I don't want to move him too much. Jumping right into the Psychic phase now, we're going to start with the Aspiring Sorcerer. He will cast Smite. We do get it off on an 11, so that's going to be the big smite for him, for D3 mortal wounds, for a total of just 1 mortal wound. Moving on this way, this in here, cast Smite, which we do fail. My next squad of rubrics, they will cast Smite. We do get it off with a 9, so just 1 mortal wound on that Dreadnought. My Exalted Sorcerer, he will cast Smite into that guy as well. We do get it off on an 8 for D3 mortal wounds, for a total of 2 mortal wounds. And for his final spell, he'll put the Glamour of Tzeentch on these last unit of Rubric Marines. And we actually do get it off with an 8, so these guys are going to be -1 to hit. And for my last ability with the Scarab Occult Terminators, they will cast Smite. Closest target is actually going to be the Dreadnought, not those guys, so they're a bit far away. So looking for a Smite. We do get it off with a 7, so it's going to be 1 mortal wound. We're going to go into the shooting phase now. We're going to start with the Scarab Occult Terminators. We're going to put all our shots into... Is it the suppressors?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to put all our shots into the suppressors. Starting with the Hellfire Missile Racks, hitting on 3s. Getting 2 hits and wounding on 2s. Getting 2 wounds, AP -2.
5-up save. -1.
Nice. For D3 damage. For a total of just 1. And the bolter shots hitting on 3s. Re-rolling the 1s because the sorcerer is nearby. Come here. And you go. Huzzah! Looking for 4s to wound.
5.
And that was just enough to take the suppressors all out. Next, we're going to be going with our squad of Rubric Marines. There's only going to be 4 of them, technically 3 that are going to be within range, and we will be firing into the repulsor. Starting with the Soul Reaper Cannon on 3s, getting only 3, and wounding on 5s, getting nothing. And with Bolter Drill, hitting on 3s with the bolters, re-rolling the 1s, and looking for 6s to wound, getting only 1.
It's a 5-up save.
Nope, taking 1 wound. That's it. No charges to make. So right into the combat phase now. We're going to start with these Rubric Marines into the Dreadnought. Hitting on 3s. All will hit. No re-rolling the 1s. And wounding on 5s. Nothing. 2 attacks from the Aspiring Sorcerer on 3s. Both hit. 5s to wound. Nothing. And then we have this Aspiring Sorcerer. 2 attacks on 3s. And 5s. Nothing.
Okay, so Redemptor Dreadnought going back into his Firing Sorcerer. 4 attacks hitting on 4s. 1 reroll from Chapter Tactics.
I'll hit.
Stop, he's already dead. 1 reroll.
AP?
AP minus 3.
6 up save. Yeah, he's dead. He died dead.
Next Redemptor into the Rubik Marines. Be hitting on 3s. So, he's not close enough to the captain, so 1 reroll for Chapter Tactics. So just 2 hits. Wounding on 2s. So 2 wounds.
6 up. 2 guys die. And that's going to be the end of that phase. Funny enough, I don't have to take a morale check. But so we were just laughing off camera because these guys over here, this guy's literally just pushing slowly, and this guy's like, no, you shall not pass, no, and just pushing slowly. So yeah, no morale for these guys. And that's going to be the end of my turn. So let's go into Salamanders, turn number 3.
So starting with the movement phase, my Redemptor is going to fall back 8 inches to just get within the objective. Okay, so the Repulsor, having fly, can move off the building and land right there, 10 inches. So the Captain's just going to move 6 and end up right next to that barricade. Okay, so this Repulsor is then just going to move 8, keeping around to the corner, saying, "Hi, I replaced my friend."
No! Jumping into the shooting phase now.
So the Redemptor Dreadnought's going to put his Heavy Flamer into those Rubik Marines, and everything else into the harder to hit Rubik Marines. So D6 shots from the Plasma Cannon, not overcharging.
For a total of 6. This thing's consistent.
Yeah, consistently ridiculous. He's not done this well for a long while. So hitting on 4s because you're -1 and it's heavy. No, it'd be 5s because -1 and heavy. So 1 reroll from the Captain. That doesn't matter. And just be wounding on 2s, strength 8. So it'll be a total of 3 wounds.
All is dust plus cover, 5 up save. 2 guys go down. Let's have these 2 schmoes.
It's Storm Bolters now. Be in rapid fire range, so H shots hitting on 4s this time. Rerolling 1s from the Captain, and then 1 reroll from Chapter Tactics. So then hitting on 4s again. So 1 extra hit. Okay, so wounding on 4s. 1 reroll from Chapter Tactics.
Nice.
1 extra.
2 up save. Oh no! That is the squad.
So D6 automatic hits from the Heavy Flamer. For
5, not good.
Okay, so wounding on 3s. Okay, so that's 4 wounds.
3 up. Oh no, this is not good because I know it's coming.
So this feels dirty, but the Repulsor is going to put all of its last weaponry into the Terminators, and because the Sorcerer is now closest, all of the other weaponry is going to go into him. So 4 shots from the last cannons, hitting on 3s. The Captain is close enough for re-rolling 1s, which does come up. And then I'll be wounding on 2s. Okay, so 3 wounds.
5 up save. Oh, okay. D6 damage, so 1 guy gets taken out completely.
And hopefully not a 1. Not a 1.
Okay, so boom boom.
So next is the Iron Hail Heavy Stubbers into the Sorcerer, hitting on 3s. Oh, and then wounding on 4s. So it'll be 3 wounds, 18.
Normally he has a 3 up save, but -1 goes to 4, but with cover, so it's back to 3. Okay, so he just takes 1 wound, so he's down to 2 wounds remaining.
Okay, so next with the Crack Grenade Launchers, it'll be 2 shots hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s because of the Captain. Does hit. And then wounding on 3s, strength 6. So, 1 wound.
1 wound. AP?
-1.
-1. So same thing, 3 up. He
goodness.
fails.
D3 damage.
Oh no.
3 damage.
He gets smoked by a grenade launcher.
That grenade launcher's been on fire, actually.
Bro, this is not how you play Kill Team.
You even Kill Team, bro?
do you even Kill Team, bro?
The last I have is the 2 Eliminators firing their D3 damage shots into the Terminators.
Okay.
There's 2 shots hitting on 3s. So 2 hits, and then wounding on 4s. So Chapter Tactics reroll.
No.
Oh, 1 wound.
AP?
-2.
Whoa!
D3 damage.
Getting a 5. Whoa is my life. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll take it. Boom. He's still okay. I don't have to take a morale check because on a 7 he'll be okay. But wow, that really hurt. I literally have 1 model on the board for the Thousand Suns. And in the nick of the time, the Salamanders, they come in and they give the Null Maiden the much needed support that she gets because she was a little bit nervous with the Thousand Suns being all around her. So you'll actually be scoring 1 victory point this turn.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we would normally go into Thousand Suns turn 4, but Stefano and I, we've done the math and we've kind of gone over everything. By having my 1 Scarab Occult Terminator there, the Salamanders have technically just auto won. Because the score right now is 3-2 in favor of the Salamanders. We go to my turn 4. I technically can't do anything. I mean, I can take some shots into this guy, maybe do a wound. I can do a wound with a smite. I can get into combat. You then punish me very hard with your fist, and then he dies. And then you have free reign into the game on turn 4, which would score you another point. So the score would then be 3-3. And then the game automatically goes into turn 5, which would then force you to have an automatic point, which would then bring the score to 4-3, which would make it a Salamanders victory. I think the crucial thing that happened right away was me failing, I think it was like 3 1s right over here, even though these guys were in cover, and then my Exalted Sorcerer failing his saves, because I would have had more models near the objective, which is the Maiden right over there. So me failing all those rolls, I would have had more models near the objective, which bumped me up to the point. So this could have been a potential tie game, but I still think you would have come up on top because you had way more firepower and way more armor than me. I mean, you still had the aggressors in there with the flamers that are untouched.
Now they would have came out and lit somebody on fire.
Exactly. So yeah, I made a bunch of really bad rolls over here. So yeah, this is going to be absolutely a Salamanders victory, which, you know what, I think is well earned. The Thousand Suns, they've been on the warpath for a while, so I'm really happy that I've lost. I'm due for a loss. So Stefano, thank you so much, man. That was a really awesome battle. It was super back and forth. For a while in the beginning, I thought the Thousand Suns had the upper hand, especially when they took out the 2 squads of intercessors, but I'm really glad that the game turned out like this. In terms of how I would build my list differently, I'm kind of happy with the Screamers of Tzeentch. They have the potential to do quite a bit of damage in close combat. They are a bit expensive, 91 points for 3 guys as opposed to my normal loadout, which I take 4 Zangor Enlightened, and I think they're 68 points. And I find the Zangor Enlightened do way more than the Screamers. But I'm going to try to keep doing the Screamers. I think they do more. Stefano, what do you think overall with the game?
So I don't know. I mean, having that much armor versus all of your infantry, it felt like after your big bulks of Rubric Marines died, there wasn't too much you could do to just force the issue of stopping my Redemptor Dreadnoughts from getting there. And it kind of just became, can you deal with my armor? And the answer became no after too long. And then the game went downhill for you. As far as what I would do differently, I probably would have left my suppressors up there just to keep them out of range. I guess long run, I don't know if I needed to move them up in order to get them within range, because it just really moved them into the firing line. But it ended up working out for me in the long run, so.
Yeah. My only really answer, I think, to dealing with this much armor was my psychic capabilities, the smites, and that's what I was trying to do. I'm like, I knew my massive bolter fire, I could whittle you down slowly, but there was definitely other target priorities. Like I knew that I had to take out your infantry, which is what I focused on. And then I thought, okay, maybe my Demon Prince can come in. But I did find, like, when I Perils of the Warp, that hurt a ton for me.
Yeah, I think that's when the game really took it downhill for you, because that took out one bigger smite for you. And then on top of it, he blew up, what, 5 other Rubric Marines along with
5 other Rubric Marines. The spell didn't go off. And then I found also that some of my other psychic powers just really wasn't doing all that much. There was maybe just 1 mortal wound here, 1 mortal wound there. And even my Demon Prince, he really didn't do all that much. I was hoping that he would do more against the Dreadnought.
I thought he would do a lot more, at least take him down to half instead of doing 2. They found out he just bounced off the Dreadnought instead of actually doing the damage I was expecting.
Yeah, just kind of really poor rolling.
Yeah, I did get a clutch deny the witch over here, which did help. More than a few, at least 2 denies the witches I think did help, and the feel no pains from the stratagem against the Dreadnought helped stop you from willing too much of the wounds off from mortal wounds.
Yeah.
So.
I'm definitely going to try out this list again. I always had fun with Rubric Marines. Against armor and things like that, I mean, I could always take a Land Raider to have those las cannons. But it's a Land Raider, you know what I mean? It's really expensive and whatnot. I could ally in, vanilla Chaos Space Marines, but I'm never a big fan of allying in things like that.
Well, do you have access to Predators?
I do.
Okay, so that's something at least.
Predators really aren't the best in the game. I mean,
it's a cheaper last cannon platform at least.
It is. But I could always try that and see how that goes. But everyone, thank you so much for watching. We definitely hope that you enjoyed this game. It was definitely very, very close, I think, up until the very end of the game, which these 2 guys, I think these guys were the MVPs of the game. Sure. Definitely coming in here and then snagging in that objective.
Battle Bros right there.
Yeah, exactly. Fist pumping it. Boop. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We hope that you enjoyed this bat wrap. And as always, happy wargaming.